Hello, I hope you can hear me and see me okay. Happy Mothering Sunday. I know I said that I was going to post a video out on Mother's Day and I was going to pre-record it, but it's actually Mother's Day today. The time is... It's 4:15 in the afternoon. I haven't seen my mum yet. I'm not seeing her until evening meal time. So my husband's watching football, so we're going after then. So this is the only time now I can show you things for my mum. This is Holly. I've got Holly with me today. She's looking a bit sorry for herself. I just thought I'll bring her in to show you, and she's got all dirt all over her face. I think she'd had her head in the dishwasher, so I've had to clean her face, and she looks a bit wet and miserable now. Here she is. I've got her in a new coat, look, that I made. If you can see, that's the size on her, if you can see what I mean now. That fits her beautifully, doesn't it, darling? It does, yes. So I thought I'd bring Holly in. Oh gosh, you are wet. Excuse my hair. I've got all these clips in because I'm going out. I've curled my hair, and I thought I'm going to get all messed up. So I've just left the clips in, so when I go out I can just let them out and then give it a bit of a hairspray. And my lips are really white. I thought, oh, they feel a bit dry, and I'll put some stuff on, and it was actually sunscreen and not lip balm or whatever, or lips trap thing that I thought it was, but never mind. Right, what order shall I do this? Right, so I'll show you what I made mum. Oh, you can actually see it. I didn't realise I made my mum this. My mum has got a West Highland Terrier called Chelsea, and she's adorable. And I'd got this fabric. I made like a Santa sack at Christmas, and I bought this lovely fur for the inside of it. And I got some left, and I thought, oh, that would make a lovely, like, sort of westy sort of texture. And the pattern I used actually isn't a westie. I'll pop her there. I'll pop her over there because I think Holly might think she's a toy. And the pattern I used was, it's called Scott the Dog, and it's by Quilters Trading Post. Now, I'd never bought anything from Quilters. You having a look, Holly? I'd never bought anything from... shall I move it down so you can see her a little bit? I'd never bought anything from Quilters Trading Post before. And it was only because I heard they were closing down. So I thought, oh, they're having a closing down sale. I'm going to have a look. And but as it happens, they've closed their shop down, but they're still an online business. So you can still buy from them. So yeah, I'm sure, you know, you might be able to get that. It's meant to be a Scotty dog, but I think made up in that fabric, I think it does look like a West Highland Terrier. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that. They're based in Cheshire, so I suppose if you're local to that, if you're having something posted, it's not going to take long to get to you, is it? So I'll pop that over there. So that's that. My cards. Now, if you ever followed my Papercraft channel, you'll see that I usually, how I make cards is that, like, I stamp images, I colour things in, cut them out, layer things and do stuff like that. But I have got electrical cutter, and I must admit I don't use it much, and I just thought, oh, do you know what, I feel like getting out. So one Sunday afternoon I had a look sort of what cards you could make on there, and that's when I saw this card that I made for my mum and my mother-in-law. However, my husband went shopping yesterday, and I said to him, remember, don't buy a Mother's Day card because I've made your mum one. And I said this literally before he went out the door. Well, he still went out and bought one, so I've still got a card, so she's going to get it for Mother's Day. But here's one of them. I've left the other one over there, but so I've made the envelope on there, and this is the card, and it's basically like a bit of a concertina, is that what you call it? Sort of, hang on, I'll just put that in front of it. There you go. So his mum, it's got a ladybird on it. So basically a plant pot, but it all opens out like a zigzag. I don't know how well you can see it. So it opens out, so it's all those layers like that. So it actually, when it sits there, it looks quite effective. It doesn't look so good on camera, but in real life, it really looks quite pretty. So my mum's getting that. I haven't wrote it yet. Mum's getting that. Those are the things I've made for her. Oh yeah, just a reminder of people who haven't seen previous videos on the dog coat. The pattern I used was the McCall. Sorry if you've watched both videos of my McCall's Crafts. I should know this off by heart now. M7881. So that's what I used to make the dog, and I used the extra small on Holly. But in previous videos, you see, I wanted to make something for Rafe, but even the extra small is too big for him. So I'm going to have to either try and make that pattern smaller, but it might be quite tricky to sew, or just make something else entirely. But I don't know what I'm doing with that yet. What else did I want to show you? I don't know where it's gone actually. I was going to show you a button bracelet that I've made. I thought I'd put it on here, but I obviously haven't. And the book that I got the pattern from was one of these 20 to make books. I got it from a craft shop that's in a garden centre locally it's called Stitch. And there's a craft shop in the grounds of my local garden centre, or one of my. I'm quite lucky. I'm sort of in the middle of two, and I do like both. And I have made this in more pastel colours, and you might have seen it on Instagram and Facebook. But I was going to show it you, so you could see. It's you don't always see this. Sometimes photos show it better, and sometimes seeing it on video, but you never know which way round. Right, Mother's Day, I am a mum. I've got 3 boys, the 15, 14, but the 15-year-old will be 16 in May, 14 and 12. So they keep me very busy. Suppose less busy in some ways from when they were babies and toddlers, but I actually homeschool my 14-year-old, so that takes up a lot of time. It was quite life-changing really. So some of the things that I used to do, I used to run a knit and natter. I had to stop that, and like, I'm not saying I never go to the odd craft group, I do, but because I'm not running them anymore, it's not such a commitment. If I can turn up as and when I feel like it, where before when I was actually running it, I felt like I had to be there every time, and it was getting quite a lot for me before I was homeschooling at times, when I've got like things going on with figure skating and things, and because that was when I started the knit and natter. I wasn't skating at the time, so yeah, life often changes, doesn't it? So anyway, so I have had a few little bits, but I can't really give any thanks to the children, because I know my husband has done it. But it's quite funny. I did say, oh look, leave it if you want. I said, give me a tenner if you want to in a card. I'll get something myself, because I like getting my own things. And he's like, no, I've got your stuff. And I said, oh, is it like food? Because I'm like, I've got this like competition coming up, and I made this dress. I'll show you my dress in a minute. I made this dress, and like, I want to still fit in it. And he said, well, I'm sorry to say, your Mother's Day gift is 90% food, right? So the 10% that wasn't food, I haven't got it in with me because it's in the kitchen, because I've watered it. It's a little tiny plant, like in a little bucket, and like, he did well. The things he chose are definitely like right up my street. So I had this lovely little plant, and I do love that. And then he got me these. If you ever tried these Lindor Lindt strawberries and cream. Like, I'm not into white chocolate, I'm really not, but oh my goodness, they're amazing. I have looked. I said to him, look, in a whole box there's like over 1,200 calories, so normally between the two of us we'll demolish these. So I said to him, look, we might have to share them out with the family. And let's have a look. And he got me a cupcake. And bear in mind, we went out for a meal last night and had a pudding. Right, and he got me this card. Like, you might know, because you've only ever seen, like, you know, maybe chihuahuas and whatever. I do have other pets, and I am a cat mama as well. I've got 4 cats, so if you want to see the cats, maybe I'll bring the cats. Like, I don't know how well they'll sit. I probably two of them would sit there docile. I don't know about the other 2. They're just, the only thing I have to watch is I've got like yarn in here, and they'll just go crazy. And I've got like a crochet project on the go, and it will just be, you know, all tangled up. So my husband got me a card with a cat on it from the boys, and they've all signed it. So that's cute. Oh, what you have to, oh, she can spot a treat. I bought a couple of treats in because I didn't know what she was going to be like, but she's been fine. And he got me these. So I'm not going to be fitting in my dress by the look of it. Not if I don't try and ration them and have them in dribs and drabs. But the trouble is, once I get going, I'm like a machine. Once I open it, oh, and the one thing he got, it's already gone. That's the last treat now, Holly. It's already gone. He got me a bag of wine gums because I love them. I just like, it's not very often I go into the shop and not buy some wine gums, but I have been trying to stop myself, but it is difficult because I do love them. And oh yeah, right, I'm just looking at the next thing I've got. So a thing I've shared on Instagram, and I said I would speak about it in my next video, but the last video I never mentioned it because it was just a quickie thing, but it's this. Now, I got this from Etsy, and if like I can't remember who made it, but what I'll do is I can put it in my blog, and I can leave the links if anyone is interested. And basically they're pattern weights. So do you know when you want to pin like clothes patterns to you know, to the paper, they sort of distort the paper a bit. And the thing is, with clothes making, you know, it can make a big difference. If you like add a bit or lose a bit, it can make a big difference. So it's best really to like use pattern weights. Now there are really fancy ones out there, and they are quite expensive. I've seen like ones, they look like they're old-fashioned cotton reels, wooden ones, and they fill them, but they are quite expensive, but they're cute. But the smallest ones, they I didn't think they looked that weighty. Like maybe somebody's got them and they're using them, and they're absolutely fantastic. But and there's the other ones where I think they use these and they make them look like do you know, like the party ring biscuits? I don't know if you get these in all countries, but you get them in the UK, and they're like little ice biscuits with all colours on, and I love those as well. I couldn't like demolish a whole packet of them, so I try and not buy them. I do this sometimes. I try and buy snacks some of the times that I know I'm not that bothered about, so I won't eat them. So, but these, they're really just bog standard. But this was I think I paid, it was £8 plus postage, and it's got a little wooden thing, and it's been finished really nice. The chap's made it really nicely, and then the little pattern weights, they're just basically like heavy washers, and they pop on like that. So I'm really pleased with that. Like maybe in time I'd get some fancy ones, but the trouble is the ones that look like cute biscuits and cakes and donuts, I think I'd just be looking at them and think, oh, I've got to go and eat something. I think I'd be thinking that all the time. And you know what, I've got like I have tried to ban food from in here because it'd be so easy to just sit there. I have got a coffee machine, but you know, like to sit there eating, and then before you know it, you'd have ate a whole pack of something and you wouldn't even know you've done it because you're sewing. So I try and stick to just eating in the kitchen. The only trouble is, every time I go in the kitchen, I'm not hungry. I walk in there and think, oh, what is there to eat? So I have to try and stay out of there if I can. but I do spend a lot of time in there. Anyway, this is why I've got to watch it. What I mean, because I've made a dress. It's lycra, so maybe I can put on a few pounds. I don't know. But this is the pattern. When I last spoke to you about this, I said I was going to attempt to make a figure skating dress. So first I said I want to make one, and then I said I'm going to attempt to make one, and basically this is the pattern that I had. I bought it when I saw it. I got so excited. Right, it's the J. Lee Tessa, it's called, and it has got a code. It's a 3891, and I saw it, but I didn't at the time have any need for a dress. I do go in shows, but generally some of the outfits are provided. I have to pay for them, but they're provided, and sometimes they tell us what to go out and buy, and sometimes I've had to buy like a Santa dress and things. So they've not been your traditional kind of figure skating thing. So anyway, so when I bought it, it was just on a bit of a whim. I thought, oh, you never know, might need a dress someday. Anyway, I haven't had it that long, and then what happens? My coach says, oh, do you want to go in this competition? I was like, oh, well, you know, when is it? What have I got to do? Okay, oh, what do I do? Well, you know, you can wear like what you're wearing, because I said in my last thing, I've got an all-in-one. It isn't an all-in-one. It's a top and bottoms, but it is a set. So she said, you can wear that, but you know, you can wear a dress. And I said, wow. I said, I did buy this pattern. I said, just in case I ever needed a dress. And she said, oh, well, you know, why didn't make the dress? And so I thought, do you know what? I thought, I'll get the fabric, I'll make it. I probably won't end up with an actual dress I can wear, but do you know what? I will have had fun making it anyway. So, well, actually, I want to say one more thing about this. I do really struggle with patterns. I sometimes find it hard to find patterns in clothes that are flattering for me and actually my size. So what I like about these J. Lee patterns, like this, starts from age 2 and goes up to age 13 in girls. And this is not just the figure skating things, this is other patterns. Then it starts from a lady's size 4 to a lady's 18. Okay, this is disappointing if you're bigger than 18. I know that must be really frustrating, but I get equally frustrated when patterns start at a certain size and then too big for me, and there's too much in it for me to, I'm not that experienced enough to change the pattern that much, kind of thing, you know. So so I was really pleased about this. But I would say, if you are a figure skater, or you're the mother of a figure skater and you're going to make these, please measure them. Please measure yourself and measure your child, because I would have probably, if I was guessing, I would have just gone straight in there and cut out the 8, because generally, okay, sometimes I do buy 6s, but generally 8 is a good way, a UK 8 for me. But when I measured myself up, I actually measured between an age 13, the highest child size, to a lady's 4. Like I don't even know if they sell size 4s in the shops. So I don't know if the sizing are wrong, so, or just the clothes shops are right. I don't know. So it's always worth checking. So I went for the 4, and anyway, I've made it. I've got a few finishing bits, and it's worked out really nice. So all I've got to do now is finish off a little bit on the skirt where I've sewed the side seams of the skirt. The threads are hanging down, so I just need to seal them off, and I've just got to decide what I'm doing with the bottom. So here it is. So this is the front, and that's the skirt bit. See, those are the threads I'm on about, and that is the back. And do you know what? It does look really cute on. Like, I've took a quick picture of myself in the mirror like this. It's not got my face, you just did my chin and whatever. And it does look quite a bit racy actually. But I did put the skin colour tights on, so my skin wasn't out, but you know, it still looks quite short. But obviously with figure skating, you have to do things like spirals, and you're lifting your legs up. So you have, like, there is a pant bit. Can you see that on there? There's a pant bit underneath. But so basically, you're making a leotard in two parts, the bodice and the bottom, and then you sew all the 3 layers together. This is basically an ivory colour, and it does shimmer, but you probably can't see that on here. But somebody, I did post this in a sewing group, and this lady said, oh, my son's 18 and he's just given up figure skating, and she recommended a Facebook page to look at. I can't remember what it is, but I've screenshot her comment saying how to bling your costumes up, so I'm gonna have a look at that. I did buy some glitter fabric, not glitter, some sequin fabric that I thought that I was going to do the skirting, but it wasn't stretch fabric, and I did fear that if I'd have sewn that on as the skirt, when I'd gone to, because you have to literally climb into it and pull it on, I was fearful that I wouldn't get it up because that wouldn't be stretchy, and I suppose I could have like done a gather, but the way the skirt sits, it's quite flattering. Oh, look, on me, I find things more flattering when they sit flat. If anything, if they've got too much gather, it's just that I've got all this material that I don't need, and it's better if it's flat. So yeah, so when I've you know, I might not do this until I'm in the competition, but when I'm all ready for my competition and my hair's all up in my bun and I've got my skates on and everything, I might people might take photographs of me while I'm at the competition. It just depends on who's coming, so I might even get a picture in it on the ice, so you never know. So I'll let you know how I'm getting on with that. I'm just, I didn't write anything down about what I was going to talk to you about. I just grabbed a pile of things. It was all a bit like rush hour. I'm not really prepared. I look like, what do you call that woman with the snakes? Is it Medusa? Medusa with the snakes in her. So, but I thought I've got to do this now because obviously my mum's card's going to be going to her and the dog. So what else can I tell you about that I've got to hand? Oh, I bought this thing, right? It's called a stash and store, and it's by So Emma, and it's really handy. Like, I've got homes for all my little sewing bits and bobs, but sometimes when I'm on my cutting desk, which that's what we're at now, I've got all these little bits and bob, pens and whatever, and I can just like shove things in, like even my rotary cutter will go in it, and rulers. I've got a cute little ruler. Where is it? Oh, it's probably in my thing down there. So you can just stuff things in, so it just keeps my cutting table nice and tidy. So you've got a couple of paintbrushes in there as well. And also, I'm a massive Mandy Shaw fan of Dandelion Design. She, like, you know, does all the red work, and I've joined her lampshade club, and I've had my first parcel, and I haven't done anything yet. But you basically you get like a lampshade, and you get a pattern, and you stitch your own lampshade. So this first design, it's all like bunnies. It's like a spring and Easter related, and you pop that over the top of the shade, and then she gives you a pattern to make a little pouch, and you embroider the lampshade club. So throughout the year you'll make different lampshade covers, and then they're like interchangeable, so the one you're not using you can pop in your little pouch. I think it's a really cute idea. I'll get a package every other month. This didn't come included, I had to get this separate, but her husband's quite a handy guy, and he's a carpenter and joiner, as is my husband by trade, but my husband is so busy and with home renovations. If I want some little wooden thing, he just hasn't got the time to do it. I asked for a dog wardrobe years ago, I think it was 7 years ago. No, it's a bit of a family joke now, the dog wardrobe and whatever, but I've told him, look, I don't want a wardrobe now, we've got too much going on home renovations, I haven't got the room for the dog wardrobe now. When the house is all done, you can maybe do one built in the utility or something. But basically, back to Mandy Shaw and her husband Phil Shaw. They've bought big vintage wooden like antique spools that were like used in the past. They've been collecting them up, and they've turned them into lampshade holders, and I got one, didn't I? here it is. So that's the antique wooden spool holder. So there you go. So I'm going to be making all these little shades. I've just got to figure out what bulb. It looks like a small screw one, a lamp. Do you know, like what do you call it, like a candle one? And apparently it can't be above 7 watts from what I read somewhere. So I'm going to have to be on I could start using it now if I got the right bulb. I could use that as a lamp now before I've made the thing. So like I don't know when I'm going to get round to doing that yet, because I've still got the quilt to do. Like I actually haven't decided, other than finishing off my dress, I haven't actually decided what I'm sewing next. I've got a crochet cardigan I've started, and I've got my red work that I need to finish. So but yeah, that's where I'm at. I don't know about the next big sew. It's not like I haven't got anything to do. I've got loads lined up, but I just haven't made the decision yet on what I'm gonna do. But I suppose now I'm in this competition, I have got to sort of start thinking about practicing more. Like my head's been all on craft, and I've got to get my head in the game really and think about going, because I've only been going skating once a week, so I suppose I should go another time. And I have got a gym membership, and I'm not going, just never going. And then every now and then I'll go once in a blue moon. They're like, oh, where you been? It's been so long. And I'm thinking, do I want to sew? Do I want to go to the gym? Or, I want to sew. but I should go, and I suppose it might help with my fitness with my skating. So, but I'm not going to stop sewing, because as you can probably tell, I am crazy about crafts and sewing. Hence why I've got a whole room that I do it in. So this video, I'm just looking at the time of this video, it's up to like nearly 27 minutes, so it's a bit long. Hopefully this will actually upload on YouTube, otherwise I'll have to cut bits off. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you next time. I'd get Holly to say bye, lift her up, but she's fell asleep on my lap, bless her. So I hope you like meeting Holly and haven't misraved too much, because he's a sweetheart, isn't he? But yeah, I'll see you soon. Bye.